PCM reviews. New look, same unbearable flavor. With Power of the Primes being released on schedule, what better time than now to talk about a Titans Return figure that if you haven't found already, you're not going to find in stores. This is Titans Return Leader Class Overlord, and for those of you who don't know anything about Overlord, you probably think this is two figures, but it's not. Overlord splits up into a jet and a tank, and for simplicity's sake, we're going to be taking a look at the tank first. So Overlord's tank is kind of small. For a quick size comparison, here he is next to Titans Return Blitzwing. You can see he's definitely taller, but he's not quite as he's taller, but he's definitely not as that's not all getting in frame, is it? He's not quite as long. So yeah. But he does have a he does roll pretty well. He's got two wheels on the treads and one on this, which will eventually end up becoming a crotch. Spoiler alert. So he rolls okay. Turret doesn't rotate just because of the way this transforms. The colors are nice. I like the kind of tealish color on the blue with the white part here. It's actually just kind of an off-white, bone white, not white, white. Am I saying white enough? The purple barrel. You probably noticed this little orange panel here. This opens up, and then you can take a Titan Master in the seated position and just drop him in. Just drop him in, and it acts as like a little pilot. So yeah, that's tank mode. Now let's take a look at the jet. As you can see, he's very black, which a lot of this ends up getting lost when he turns into a robot mode. That was shaky. He's got these purple fins here with the stickers. These stripes here are stickers. There's a sticker. And these elbows do not want to stay straight. Spoilers. You got some purple up here at the front of these intake things. Tiny wings. If you own Titans Return Sky Shadow, you'd recognize these as the fins. These fins, the fins that are sort of. If you own Titans Return Sky Shadow, you'd recognize these as the stabilizing fins. And in fact, if you own Titans Return Sky Shadow, you'd probably recognize the tank mode as the tank mode from that. Spoiler alert: this guy is a retool of Titans Return Sky Shadow, or rather Sky Shadow is a pre-tool of Overlord. That's a fun term. He's got a little landing gear down here, and that, which we'll get to when we get to the base mode. This one does have an opening cockpit. This comes off for literally no reason. So you open up, it just makes it a little easier to open up the cockpit. You can open up the cockpit, drop in a Titan Master, close it up, and now he's got a pilot. And it's a pretty substantial jet mode. And that came out. So, for size comparison, here he is next to Titans Return Blitzwing again. You can see this time he is a... You can't see that, but he is definitely at least the same length as Blitzwing. This time he's not quite as tall if we're including stabilizing fin length. So, yeah. Yep. That's going to be it for the jet mode. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these off screen. Now we're going to take these two and combine them into base mode. And to do that, you just have to ram them together and... Oh, hey, would you look at that? There's some base mode. Yeah, that's exactly how the transformation works. You know it isn't. Don't even pretend you didn't. So the way you're really supposed to do it is we'll start off with tank mode because that's probably easier. I don't know. Take out the gun, split the whole tank mode in half and unfurl it. Then you're going to want to rotate these around, move that up, bend it at the not the knee. Same thing over here. And flip in this half of the cockpit turret thing. And that's the bottom of the base mode. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a jet, move all this crap out of the way because it's taking up too much space. Actually, we'll keep the gun here. We're going to need that anyways. You're going to, similar to with Sky Shadow, you're going to want to move these panels here. And then that will allow you to do a reverse ab crunch, where you basically just bend all that forward. Spoilers.
All around me are familiar faces.
And then once that's all taken care of, take the top part, flip the landing gear in about that much, flip it around, plug it back in, tear this off again because your fingernails are awful and you can't get anything, fold that panel down, pop that back in, tab those down, flip this up for whatever reason. You don't need to do that, but it just kind of makes it look more like it's holding this out. It's not scaffolding, I forget what the word is there. Structural support, maybe? I don't know, I'm not an engineer, don't ask me about this crap. Plug the gun in there, and then you're going to take the tank half, and now you can just ram it right on in. And this is base mode. It's fine, it's probably the most solid base mode out of all the Titans Return base modes, and that's not saying much because most of the base modes are garbage. This one actually kind of looks like something. Maybe you could launch a shuttle from here. Hell if I know what you're supposed to do with it, though. Now you can take a Titan Master, and this is the Titan Master 4 Overlord, whose name has escaped me. I'm going to adjust my lighting so you can actually see what the hell I'm trying to show you. This is the Titan Master for Overlord, who is supposed to be an homage to either Mega or Giga, but I have no idea because I never watched Master Force. And of course, since this is a Titan's Return base, it is covered with Titan Master pegs. 2 there, which means there's also 2 there, 1 on each of these little flaps, and 1 up there. So you can plug them in anywhere, pretty much. Except there, that peg sucks. But since that is also the seat of the cockpit, you can have someone sit up here if you really wanted to, because there's that foot tab. But again, that little peg gets in the way, meaning it's easy to knock him out. So, now that I've once again broken the illusion, let's go ahead and, apparently this was never connected. So let's, Oh, don't plug the gun in until you've connected the 2, apparently. Alright, so, now that you've seen the base mode, let's get him transformed into robot mode. Unplug the gun, flip the legs forward, clip that in, unbend the reverse ab crunch, move these panels back up, this will help to secure it in, bring the legs down, turn them around, open the feet. Oh, thing about the base mode, if you open these up, you can flip out these things, which are meant to be able to attach to other walkways, so you can connect this to other base modes, or to Triptychon, or Fort Max, or whatever. I don't care. I don't plan on doing that. And then attempt to adjust your camera so that you can see up higher. Hey, that works. That actually worked. It's a Christmas miracle. A day after Christmas. Reconfigure your lighting again, because you need to do that every 2 minutes now. Then you're going to tear this off completely, fold this part down, extend the arms, unpeg them from the sides of the torso, flip in the wings, flip in the fins, and flip out the hands. Last step is to turn him around, and oh no, he doesn't have a face, but you probably already know that that's what this is for. You take his Titan Master, fold him up into a little box, don't knock the arms off because they are loose as hell, slam him in there, close that lid, and bam, he's got a face. Now what you can do is you can take this landing gear, flip it out for ease of access for that peg, flip that back down, and flip the peg out, and this plugs into his arm as a shield type thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, and that is basically Overlord. He looks pretty nice. It's great to finally get a new version of this figure so that I can crush all those stupid pipes that have invaded my home and are infesting my kitchen. So many pipes. It's not even funny. For articulation, the head rotates and moves up and down. You can open up his lid and take a look at his big old face head. Arms have two separate joints. One inside the torso mass and one outside, which is meant to be used with the swivel, which on mine is loose. So is the elbow, so you get floppy arm action. Got a rotation here at the bicep, I don't know anatomy. Bend at the elbow. No articulation at the hands, because why would it? No waist articulation due to transformation, but he does have a thigh swivel. Decent forward. About as decent back, except it starts to unplug this. That much outward, which is most of the way outward. He's got a knee, which doesn't quite hit 90 degrees. If you want to go any further, you can flip this out and make the whole thing look awful. You can move his heel around. You don't need that for anything. Got a toe joint, though. You can kind of do something like that. You can make him taller if you really wanted to, but it makes it harder to stand him. And he does have an ankle tilt. So if you want to get him doing the big splits for some reason, you can get him to do the big splits. Let's just hope that hinge, that joint there, doesn't collapse on you. But he can do the big splits. Now, for those of you who know anything at all about Overlord, you know that these chest panels open up, and inside are little cavities. Now, you could use these with the Prime Masters from the new Power of the Primes line, but since this came out in Titan's Return, we will not be doing that. We will instead be doing the much more funny thing of taking some faces and sticking them in here. Now, doesn't that just look beautiful? Only problem with this is you can't quite close the chest panels back up all the way, but I guess it helps to add a little more bulk, make him look a little bit more powerful, imposing. Maybe he turns you on now? I don't know. You do you, man. And of course, if you really wanted to do this the right way, you could take one of the Prime Masters and stick them in there. There you go. Or as another option, you can take one of the dummy block gun piece things from the Prime armor. You can stick those in. You got two of them in the right colors. You can pretend they're Mega and Giga. And those close up much more nicely. Almost all the way. You can see there's still maybe a little bit of a gap, or maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, those fit in nice. And of course, that means it's going to be no, it's not that hard to get out either. What do you know? Now, if you don't want to store this thing on his arm, you can always go back around here and clip that in. But with the gun, unless you don't want him to have it on his person at all, he's got to be holding it at all times. Overall, he's a very nice figure. If you can find him anywhere, definitely pick him up. But now that Power of the Primes is running, odds of you finding him anywhere are less. I got this as a Christmas present from probably Amazon, because that's about the only reliable place to buy anything anymore. This has been PCM Reviews, and brick and mortar retail stores are dead. This is Overlord here. There's something under. Ooh, this is fun. Yeah, look at that. Great professionalism. You're not.